of nurses, midwives. 10. Discuss in brief the importance of National AYUSH Mission NOM. Describe the challenges in mainstreaming AYUSH into the existing healthcare system and the way forward to overcome these challenges. Approach. State the rationale and importance of National AYUSH Mission NOM. Describe the challenges which are likely to creep in mainstreaming AYUSH into the existing healthcare system. Mention some of the steps which need to be taken to overcome these challenges. Answer. AYUSH stands for the Indian Medical Systems of Ayurveda, Yoga, Unity, Siddhacha and Homeopathy. The government has launched the National AYUSH Mission with the objectives of providing cost-effective quality AYUSH services at primary health centers PHCs, community health centers CHCs, and district hospitals DHS, and to address the problem of shortage of manpower in Indian healthcare system. Importance. Providing universal access to AYUSH by co-location of AYUSH facilities at PHCs, CHCs, and DHS to widen coverage. Strengthening institutional capacity at the state level by upgrading AYUSH educational institutions, state government AYUSH pharmacies, drug testing laboratories, etc. Sustaining supply of quality raw material by supporting cultivation of medicinal plants via good agricultural practices. Promoting quality standards by adopting certification mechanism and superior grade standards for AYUSH drugs. Challenges. Distinct philosophical orientation of each system of medicine. For example, while the allopathic system addresses symptoms based on a biomedical model, the Ayurveda system largely operates on a holistic approach for combating illness. Cross-referral of patients and difficulties in transitioning them into different systems of medicine. Some ailments are better treated with Ayurvedic medicines, while others heal better with allopathic treatments. No scientifically proven benefits. Most of the AYUSH medicines are yet to be validated for their alleged healing properties. Lack of global recognition. Global regulatory measures do not suitably recognize these traditional systems. Hence, mainstreaming them with existing healthcare system can increase piracy and misappropriation. The availability of quality products is fragmented and not transparent. More than 85% of the herbs are collected from the wild. Enforcement of legal provisions remains weak in practice. Way forward. Addressal of doubts regarding the efficacy and safety of AYUSH systems via scientific research, publishing and development of good practices. Protection of traditional knowledge of Ayurveda from piracy and misappropriation by increasing digitization. Incentivization by states for growth of medicinal plants in ideal conditions to ensure quality and availability. Accreditation system for the traditional health colleges to improve the standard of teaching and training of future Vaidyas. Clinical trials of AYUSH drugs, formulations and therapies to earn global recognition for AYUSH practices. The recent National Health Policy 2017 NHP strikes the right notes in moving AYUSH from a stand-alone to a three-dimensional mainstream in the health delivery mechanism, kick-starting the process of normalizing AYUSH into the existing healthcare system. 11. Giving examples. Examine the importance of different factors of location of pharmaceutical industry in India. What are the ways in which the recent changes in tax architecture may affect it? Approach. Give a brief factual background of the current position and potential of the pharmaceutical industry in India. By citing examples, describe the factors responsible for the location of pharmaceutical industry in India. Explain as to how recent changes in tax infrastructure such as goods and services tax would likely impact this sector. Answer. The Indian pharmaceutical industry ranks 4th in terms of volume and 13th in terms of value across the world. It has created a niche for itself in generic drugs market, biotechnology, and novel drug delivery systems globally. The pharmaceutical industry is an example of footloose industry, i.e. it does not require specific local resources and hence it can be established wherever the feasibility criteria is met on the basis of following factors. The availability of raw materials ensures a constant supply and reduction in operational cost. For instance, proximity to the petrochemical hubs located on the western coast of India. Nearness to the market/transportation networks. For example, Preponderance of the pharmaceutical industry in the western region of India due to its proximity to ports such as Kandla, which facilitate easy export of generic drugs to Africa and Europe. The availability of both skilled and unskilled labor at cost-effective rates is a prerequisite for the pharmaceutical industry. Suitability of land and climate. Extremely hot, humid, dry or cold climate are not suitable for the establishment of pharmaceutical plants. Environmental impact, waste disposal and safety requirements need to be given due consideration to prevent man-made disasters like Bhopal gas tragedy. Easy availability of capital and favorable state policies. For example, stable policies of state governments such as in Gujarat and low taxation rates of Himachal Pradesh have attracted various pharmaceutical industries. Constant supply of power at cheap rates. For instance, frequent power cuts in Himachal Pradesh have compelled companies to relocate towards states providing regular power supply like Gujarat. Quality of water. For instance, pristine quality of water available in hilly states is required for formulations of active pharmaceutical ingredients APIs. The Indian pharmaceutical industry is expected to grow over 15% per annum against expected average global rate of 5% per annum between 2015 and 2020. The Indian pharmaceutical exports are also expected to grow by 30% by 2020 as per the Pharmaceuticals Export Promotion Council of India. In this respect, the implementation of goods and services tax (GST) is expected to be a game changer. Although there are concerns related to drug pricing, exemptions and compliance standards, yet it is going to be a promising development for the industry in the medium to long run in the following manner. It would create tax-neutral interstate transactions between two parties, thereby reducing the dependency on multiple states and increasing the focus on regional hubs. It is expected to bring in efficient supply chain management, which will reduce the final costs of the drugs considerably. This will also result in increased forecast accuracy, better and improved order fulfillment cycle time. Cascading taxes across different states like Octroi in Gujarat, Maharashtra and Punjab will no longer exist. Provision of tax credit on duty levy on import of costly machinery and equipment is expected to bring down the cost of technology. 12. While discussing the factors responsible for the formation of tropical cyclones, explain the reason behind absence of front formation in case of tropical cyclone as compared to temperate cyclone. Approach. In the introduction, write about the cyclone and terminologies of types of cyclones. After that, write the factors responsible for tropical cyclone and how they are needed for the formation of tropical cyclones. Thereafter, explain the front and how they do not occur in case of tropical cyclones as the fundamental conditions for these are not met. Answer. The cyclone is a large-scale air mass that rotates around a strong center of low atmospheric pressure. Based on the position of occurrence of cyclones, they are categorized as tropical 100, 300 N and S of equator and temperate 350, 650 N and S of equator cyclones. Factors responsible for formation of tropical cyclones are: large sea surface provides supply of moist air which helps form the clouds. Temperature higher than 27 degrees Celsius is needed for tropical cyclone formation. The high temperature provides required heat for the cyclone. Presence of the Coriolis force is necessary for tropical cyclones so the air starts and continues spiraling around its center. Small variations in the vertical wind speed are necessary for the maintenance of airflow system. A pre-existing high or low pressure area or low level cyclonic circulation to attract the flow of moist air to the center. Upper divergence above the sea level system is necessary so that the low pressure system is maintained at the center. On the other hand, the very basis of temperate cyclone formation involves frontogenesis. When two different air masses meet, the boundary zone between them is called a front. The ideal conditions for a front to occur are temperature contrast and converging air, which should be strong enough to move one air mass towards another along with a Coriolis force. Such conditions occur over subtropical high, subpolar low pressure belts and are absent in tropical zones. Thus, fronts are absent in tropical cyclone compared to temperate cyclone. 13. The amount and energy of solar radiation reaching the Earth's surface varies widely through space and time. What are the various geographical factors responsible for this? Also, elaborate how UV radiation affects the life on Earth. Approach. Highlight the differential amount of solar radiation received across various regions of the Earth. List various geographical factors responsible for the same. Elaborate how ultraviolet UV radiation affects life on Earth. Answer. The amount and energy of solar radiation reaching the Earth's surface varies widely geographically, spatially and through time. The insolation received at the surface varies from about 320 watt/meters to the tropics to about 70 watt/meters to the poles. The factors that account for this variation are the inclination of the sun's rays. A larger angle means the sun's ray.
ফার্স্ট ইয়ারের কেউ দিয়েছে ফার্স্ট ইয়ারের ওকে কিন্তু কেউ পাওয়া উচিত ফার্স্ট ইয়ারের তো ছেলেগুলো ভালো করে সৌমেন 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 আছে তারপরে ওদের থেকে যে ইয়ারে দিয়েছে সে আর সেও আসতে বলতে হ্যাঁ কত কত আরে ওদের শুধু ওই কাটছে আমরা তো বিভিন্ন কাটছি ওনার শুধু কাটেনি ওটাকে লাগাতে ওদের 500,000 টাকা দেয় এবং ভয়ে একটু খাটছে হয়ে গেছে বুঝতে পারছো আর আমাদের ঠিক আছে আমি দেখি তাহলে আমার কাছে বলছে হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ আরে আর কে কে দিয়েছে বললাম আর কে কে দিয়েছে নাম বল আর কে কে নাম দিয়েছে বল আচ্ছা আচ্ছা ফার্স্ট ইয়ারে এগুলো দিয়ে যাবে আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে এগুলো জিজ্ঞাসা করছে দেখছে যদি জায়গা পাওয়া যায় আমাদের না এগুলো আবার ওরা বলে দিছিল ফেসবুকে হ্যাঁ দেখতে পাবো ও দেখো দেখো আচ্ছা আচ্ছা তাহলে ধর আমি দেখি হ্যাঁ নাহলে কেটে দে আমি আবার তোকে হ্যাঁ জানি নি দেখি না আরে নেট